What we having right now in this country is a spiritual war. And if you guys is paying attention to what's going on right now regarding this Charlie Kirk situation, white America and majority of people on the right, they are trying to point the finger and blame somebody, and they are calling for a civil war right now instead of addressing the issue that this country has been going through for generations, which is white on white violence. Because a black person didn't assassinate Charlie Kirk, but his last words before he got deleted was degrading and disrespecting black people, because a lot of these conservative influencers online right now is trying to use somebody as a scapegoat. They trying to blame it on the left or blame it on the transgender, right? And Fox News just released an article talking about that the guy roommate, the shooter, his roommate was transgender. And my question is, what that got to do with him shooting Charlie Kirk? Because Charlie Kirk was a victim of white on white crime. This has nothing to do with nobody else, no other community. And white America is trying to deflect right now because they don't want to talk about the white on white crime that's running rapid in their community right now. They want to blame black people, because if a black person commit a crime in this country, we already know how this gonna go. It's the black community's fault. It's all our fault, right? Not the individual that committed a crime, not a political party, because that's what a lot of these people is trying to do right now, because they want to uphold this image of white people is good and black people is bad. That's why you always hear these people talking about 13% of black people commit 50% of the crime, which is false. Only 0.05% of black men commit deletions in this country. 97 to 99% of black men have never committed a murder in this country. But they don't want to talk about that. They don't. They want to be hyper fixated on black people because they can deflect from what's actually going on in their community. The last five mass shootings has been white men. Right? The last one that just happened in Colorado was a 16-year-old white boy. And this has been going on for decades after decades after decades. And people like Charlie Kirk and most of these conservatives, they don't want to talk about that. Charlie Kirk didn't do nothing that push this country forward. He wanted to be divisive because he made a career out of denigrating black people. Y'all don't know Charlie Kirk for nothing other than being a racist. And then now you got a lot of people that's out here celebrating his death, which I don't agree with. It's very disgusting to see y'all do that. I'm not that type of person. I can disagree with a person, but I don't think a person should be unalive because of their political beliefs. But now people are saying that Charlie Kirk was speaking the truth, which is false. He was not speaking the truth. Charlie Kirk told a lot of lies. And y'all have such anti-black racism embedded in you that you want to believe these narratives that Charlie Kirk was spewing out here in the public. He wasn't assassinated because of his political views. He was assassinated because he was white. 80% of white people kill each other, but they don't want to talk about that. And Tim Tebow came out a while ago and he was talking about the issues that's going on in white America.
The number one offender type is biological fathers, but by far it is being done by middle-aged Caucasian men. Many, over half of them, college graduates. Many of them are educated, good jobs. This isn't just who we're thinking about. Like they're technical savvy, and I think that it is time that we call them out. Like that we can't stand by and stand back. Like we have to stand up and say, not only are we not doing our job as men, it's actually the opposite. Instead of being defenders and protectors of our families, we're hurting and abusing.
Right? They are the leading demographic of abusing their children. They are the #1 demographic of mass shootings in this country, but they want to bring up Chicago. They want to bring up Baltimore. They want to bring up Tennessee. They want to bring up all these other states instead of focusing on what's going on in their community. Because Charlie Kirk was in an all-white city at an all-white college surrounded by a majority of white people. There was no black people there. So now they want to target HBCUs. I guarantee you, if Charlie Kirk was going on an HBCU tour, there wouldn't be no black person climbing on top of no building, sniping him from 200 feet. The most pushback he would have got was been in probably a heated argument at an HBCU. Charlie Kirk don't live around black people. These white racist conservative, they don't associate themselves with black people. Black people are not their issue, right? Their biggest threat is the people that's in their community. Most of these assassinations attempts that's happened with these politicians are the people that look just like them. And a lot of white people reject Charlie Kirk's premise. Majority of these white kids, they are the #1 demographic that patronize the hip-hop culture. These children love black America. They love black people. They want to be a part of the black culture. And when they hear people like Charlie Kirk come online every single day degrading black people, talking about we low IQ, I wouldn't get on the plane if it was a black pilot, we don't qualify for certain positions because these are white men positions. What you think that's gonna do? Because the world don't owe you understanding. You can have your freedom of speech, but it's so ironic that the people on the right, I'm not right wing, I'm not left, none of that. Because I believe both of these parties are the devil. But what I find is so ironic, people on the right always want to advocate for free speech, right? People have the right to, say what they want to say. Our veterans fought for, us to have free speech. But right now, y'all are out here doxing people. Y'all out here trying to get people fired because of their opinions about Charlie Kirk. But this the same party that's always want to talk about that somebody trying to censor them or somebody trying to cancel them. Because when that white lady said that degrading and racist shit to that young black boy out there in New York, they raised that lady $1 million and they was talking about y'all can't censor them. She should be able to speak her mind and say the N-word. So when people out here talking about how they feel about Charlie Kirk, because they trying to paint Charlie Kirk like a genius, like he's Jesus, like he's God, like he didn't do nothing wrong. You got to be responsible for the words that you put out here in this world, right? And again, I don't advocate for violence. I don't wish harm on anyone. But the world don't owe you understanding, because just like you go out here and you spew these radical talking points, it's somebody at the end of those words that might be extremely radical and they disagree with you. So you got to be prepared for this. This world is a war zone, right? And you got to be mindful of the people that you disrespect and the people who you try to radicalize, right? Because it might end up in deletion, in assassination. But again, they trying to point the blame at somebody. They trying to these folks said that we finna deep dive into his history and try to see is he part of the LGBT community. I'm like, what do they have to do? Charlie Kirk was a victim of white on white violence. And y'all refuse to talk about that. Trump refused to talk about that. Because if a black person have done this, we won't hear the last of black people or the criminals, crime, and bro, it's just amazing to me that the cope that the right is trying to do right now, right? And I lean somewhat conservative, but I don't associate myself with the Republican Party because they ain't shit. Just like the Democrat Party ain't shit, right? So black people, don't be out here cheering for this man death. Don't be trying to join along with these white liberals because they don't give a damn about you either. So, like I said, I think you guys should just protect your peace, be educated, be mindful, be safe out here, because it seems like this country is going down the drain. And after this situation, I just feel like a lot of violence is about to spark up. So just make sure you be safe and you take care of yourself. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video. Make sure you guys like this video, comment on this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out.